Welcome to our new series, The 200 Movie Challenge. Our goal this year is to watch 200 movies that we haven't seen yet. If you want to listen to the full podcast where this clip is from, the link will be in the description. Now enjoy today's movie.
Soto, let's move on. What was your second? I need to move on.
What a segue.
Yeah. Well, it depends what your next movie was. But yeah, no. Talk to me. What was the second movie that you saw this week?
So the second movie I saw this week is a movie actually I've been trying to watch for a long time, but I just have never gotten around to it for circumstance. This movie is actually available at Blockbuster Video for a long time, and during our era of Blockbuster Video, which was 2006. And this movie is called The Fall. Have you ever seen this movie? I feel like
No, I have not. I've not seen it, but
really,
because when you told me about it, I was like, hold on. The funny thing is, I recognize the. I recognize the box art, like the DVD.
of course you did.
I was like, oh, I know that shit. That's the only reason I know.
Of course.
It. But for some reason, I felt like I had not seen this movie. So I was like, I recognize this. I know nothing about it because obviously it escaped my mind. I don't think there was many copies at Blockbuster. I don't think this is a huge hit, but I recognize it.
No, there wasn't.
But
There wasn't, and it's directed by Tarsem Singh, who I've always had kind of a iffy sort of vibe with. The Cell is I don't think The Cell is a great movie. My wife would disagree, but I think The Cell visually is amazing. I think Vincent D'Onofrio is really good in it too.
That's the Jennifer Lopez one, right?
Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, sorry.
Exactly. I was like,
it's been a while. I remember seeing that in theaters, and I don't remember much of it. I felt like when I came out of theaters,
cool.
it was okay, but I think it was just because of like you said, it visually. But I do not remember much. I just more remember her. But yeah, go. Sorry,
visually amazing. And no, it's fine. We did. It's fine. Jennifer Lopez. But again, I found it visually interesting, but I found it to be empty from a story perspective. I think that The Cell it seemed very procedural to me. I think Vince Vaughn is in it too. But anyways, with Tarsem as a director, I've kind of just been iffy about him. And so The Fall, I think I kind of was in that mindset where I was like, it's Tarsem, this is going to be some over bloated bullshit. I used to be a lot more like angsty about movies in the early 2000s, by the way, than I am now. But I decided to finally watch this. Now, this was not available for free. This was a movie that I had. This is a movie that I had to rent, but I also had points on my credit card, and so I used those points on my credit card to make this movie free. Huh? See what I did there? So I didn't actually pay for this movie. I just used my credit card points that I had built up. It was only like $4. And I watched it because it's just been on my mind. I didn't have anything else to watch. And let me tell you, visually, this movie is absolutely stunning. I think it takes place over 20 different countries where he shot it.
Holy shit.
It is it's absolutely gorgeous. I think he broke himself trying to make this movie, which I love when directors lose their minds or like they pour everything into a piece of art and then that piece of art fails and then what it does to them and stuff like that, because then it's like you look back and see what they were trying to do. But this movie, what surprised me besides the visuals was just the heart that it had. I wasn't really expecting that. The story really revolves around this stuntman. It starts off, this stuntman gets injured. It's in the 1920s, so it's like imagine early like stuntmen back then. He gets injured and he's in the hospital. Is back. He may be paralyzed. This other girl, who's an immigrant girl, is also staying in the same hospital. She has a broken arm. She fell from trying to pick shit up in the trees. So they meet each other, and he starts in order to start passing the time. He starts telling her a story, and the story, his motivations are very dark in telling her the story because he really uses it to manipulate her. But he goes into the story and it's talking about bandits and princes and magical lands, and of course that's where it cuts to all this gorgeous imagery, right? And it goes back and forth. And there's even little funny things like you're telling a little kid a story and then the little kid calls you out on something that might be a plot hole and you're like, oh yeah, no, I meant because of this happens. And but then you see it visually in the story too. So I thought that was really cute. it was just, again, it was had so much heart. The story is fucking great. It's actually about telling stories, which I find to be obviously what I love. And so it kind of takes like the love of storytelling and being a little kid and hearing a story and all that mixed with kind of the darkness of being an adult and just making a really visually breathtaking movie about just the relationship really between a storyteller and the person who's listening to that story and how fragile that bond can be. The undercurrents of like sadness in the background too. But I was really blown away by this movie. It definitely lived up for the hype for me. I think that sometimes you have to watch movies in the part of your life that you need to watch them at. Like, if you ever believe in that woo woo stuff, it's like, like if somebody recommends a movie to me randomly, like a friend of mine is like, oh, you should watch Death of Stalin. I will then go and try to watch Death of Stalin because I feel like that's the universe's way of telling me to watch a specific movie. And I'm just very happy that I'm in a place where I could watch a movie like The Fall and be like, okay, cool, I can accept this and I can understand that this is a masterpiece and a work of art as a movie too. I really, really enjoyed this movie a lot. And I'm surprised that you did not see it because I'm sure we were processing PRP for this movie at some point.
100%. We had.
I'm sure it was $9.99.
Because, like I said, I think this was 2007, 2008, whatever it might have been. Yeah, that obviously was peak time. That was still our franchise. Either way, yeah, no, I don't recall seeing this. I'm pretty sure I would have remembered this, but I do. Like I said, I 100% remember the cover art. So who knows? Maybe I don't know if I'll pay for it. I don't have credit card points, but
if it's free, watch it. I recommend it. I'm probably going to buy it. I think, I've said this with any movie that I'm going to buy, that's an automatic top 5 movie. And I probably will at the end of this year take a look at my top movies and be like, okay, these are the movies that I'm going to add to my collection. And so, as I've thought about this movie, and I may think about it even more, but right now, this is probably, right now it's the third best movie I've seen this year. So I'm putting it behind Whiplash and Anora, and putting it at number 3. It might climb higher, but I think that that's an appropriate place for that to be. So,
wow, another top 5 movie. Funny because I remember your very first movie you saw was Oppenheimer, which really much fell down to 22, but
Oppenheimer may still fall.
It could.
There's room to fall for Oppenheimer.
Changes happen, but that's why they are a fucking list. So, yeah, no, I don't know why I didn't see The Fall because again, that was a time when I used to try to watch every friggin' movie that we got, and I don't remember which Blockbuster I was at. All that kind of. I know. Either way, so it could have just been one I looked at. I'm like, yeah. And maybe we just didn't have a lot of copies of it because again, I don't feel like that overpopulated the new release wall that much. I don't think it did.
No, it didn't.
But that's a movie that I felt like maybe a row, maybe 2 rows at best. I don't think not a full bay, but
oh, definitely not. No, it was kind of out there. I mean, even this one was produced. I want to say it was produced by like David Fincher and somebody else. Because they re-released it and like remastered it and stuff. And I mean, it's a gorgeous movie. Definitely way better than Lawrence of Arabia. I'm sorry. Lawrence of Arabia is majestic and great, but this has the same kind of Lawrence of Arabia shots, except with way more color. And I absolutely love the story, and I love the relationship between the stuntman in the bed and the little girl, and also weird little connection to the movie The Fall Guy, because The Fall Guy is also about stuntmen and how like they're like the unsung heroes of the movie industry, and The Fall pays homage to that as well towards the end of its movie with trying to acknowledge like how amazing stuntmen are. And to segue into that, that's going to be a new Oscar category moving forward, which I'm very excited about. I think it's well deserved.
Yeah, it definitely is well deserved because they put their freaking bodies on the line and do not get the recognition unless you're Jackie Chan. He's like the only one because he does his own stunts. Or
he's the only
I know
one. All the stuntmen
that pretty much does all his own stunts. So, but Yeah, no, number 3. And look at you. You got 2
For 3 right now.
stuntman movies. I think you might have a third one. I
All of
can't
a
remember your
sudden,
list. I know it happens.
I'm due for a Ryan Gosling movie. I need a Ryan Gosling movie right now. Like I need to
Notebook.
add a
Did you
Ryan.
say Notebook?
Maybe I'll
Notebook.
yeah.
I know
We'll
I'm
see.
doing
We'll
this.
see what
I'm
the
doing this to
film
annoy
is.
you, but Notebook needs to be part of this challenge. I'm not saying soon.
I know.
I think
know.
that's like because I can't watch it.
There's room
I've never
for
seen
it.
it. Yeah, you got time.
There's a lot of room for it.
There is a
A lot of room on this. 50 more movies to go. Actually, I apologize. There's 61 spots, so there's 61 more chances for there to be the Notebook, and
Well, you can go above 100
just like
too.
Terrifier 3.
Are you going to quit at 100? I mean, I guess it depends when we hit 100.
No,
But, oh.
no, we'll keep going. What else are we doing?
Other podcasts. We talk.
True.
That's what we're just talking, and eventually we would love to get paid to talk. But
Yeah,
speaking,
exactly. In Panda Express, if you guys want to donate, of course.
yeah, or any other place that gives us food.